Back here in our Benin Network studio, a whole lot of things to talk about, but I have my guest seated with me in the studio as we dive our attention over to politics, as everything is all gathering towards the 2027 general elections. We have seen new political parties rise up, new coalition movement, and one of which that has caught so many Nigerians' attention is the ADC. And there are those who would say that that is now the major political party in Nigeria, because when we look at the saga that has been going on in the PDP, an unending one will begin to ask questions about the state of the opposition political parties in Nigeria. So that's our main attention this morning. The ADC coalition movement, the challenges and prospect as we move towards the 2027 election. Now I have my guest with me in the studio. He is Dr. Patrick Osage Esquire, a lawyer and a political analyst. Good morning and good to see you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me this morning.
Right, you look great, by the way.
Thank you for the compliment, and you are not looking bad either.
Thank you so much. So let's dive into the conversation. When you think and look about the ADC coalition party, what do you make out of it, and why do you feel it is gaining great momentum as we speak?
Well, it's a common thing that's been happening over time, over the years, and in political activities like this. You know, what actually happened, politics is about interests most of the time, as it were, not about the people. That's why personally I have a little dislike and detest for the actors and the way they carry on with the so-called political activities. Now, everyone moving to the so-called ADC, like, is it ADC now?
ADC,
Am I
yes,
correct?
the coalition party.
It's sounding so much like a military title, like the ADC of stuff like that. So now looking at it from that perspective, the aggrieved people within the PDP circle, the APC, and all other political parties that may not have been so that relevant, they want to form a coalition to find a way to unseat the incumbent now. I think that's just the whole idea. And the challenge most of the time is that they all come with, we are going together, we want to rescue the nation, we want to salvage this, the economy is tumultuous, it's trouble for the commoners. That's not the truth. We all know, because it happened over and again. The moment you gain ground and get in, you repeat the same folly that you claim they have repeated or they've been perpetrating over time. I think that's the challenge. So here and now, we know that people like Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, former vice president, and a whole El-Rufai, whole love for Ahmed Tinubu and so many others that have formed this ADC. They are after, we want to get in. Your interest, their interest, not national interest, not the interest of their people, their personal interest. I think that's the problem I have. So I did, okay, go ahead.
So basically you're saying it's a case of power grabbing for the big wigs.
That's correct, exactly, that's what it is. Because if it would have been a laudable idea, if it's all about the people, the commoners, the average person on the street, what have you done? Okay, you, a former governor, former vice president, let's really look critically at it. We know you are so wealthy. Well, Obasanjo, the former president, told us how wealthy you are. I was in Dubai for several years ago, and I saw some of his stuff. His activity, his name is a big name there. So a man of such caliber and status that we have come to know, what have you actually done for the Nigerian people? You have so many young unemployed folks, you have so many young children out of school, you have so many, what projects, maybe there are, I don't know. I really want to see what he has really done outside the political party, that everybody know him as one-time vice president. The same thing goes for the El-Rufai. He was minister of FCT, he's enjoyed so much from 99. They joined the Abdusalami Abubakar's time to bring in the new era. And what have you actually done other than being 2 times governor of Kaduna State and minister of FCT, and and back and forth trouble with your friend and brother who you helped, according to you, to the Senate, and I see that she was, was it Senate or something, and then a whole lot of back and forth. I am not really saying, and I've seen individuals that have not tested political power. They have done so much for the average. And I could see young men having NGOs here and there, having solicited funds here and there to help the common. So if you are saying you are grabbing or you want to rescue the nation, they always target like they are rescuing.
Right.
Rescuing who? Is it the market women or the children or the teachers, or who are you actually rescuing? You're actually doing this to just gain relevance because you feel power is so wonderful. You know, what's his name again? He's not, Julius Caesar has always said, is it Julius Caesar now that said, just break the law, ensure you perpetuate yourself in that office, and then you become the law.
Okay,
he said, I crossed the Rubicon, and when I got there, I actually became the law.
Now, before I even go over to the next question, because you say that they just want to gain power for their own selfish interest and reason, and there's nobody to rescue. So with all that's going on in the country as regards security situation, poverty situation in the country skyrocketing and all of that, you feel there is nothing needed to be done?
You really want my sincere opinion? There's no security issue in Nigeria.
Really?
I'm telling you the truth.
A lot of persons being kidnapped every
I
single
know this
day.
happening. Hold on. The will. You know, Abacha, president of the head of state, one-time head of state, Abacha, he told us clearly that a insurgency that lasts beyond 48 hours. Oh no, the government of the day has a hand in it. I was in China. I just came back a few days ago. I spent all my Christmas, or not Christmas, after Christmas, I left. And I had my wallet. I got into a taxi, you know. I have never been there. I've been everywhere before, but not been there. So I just wanted to see what's really happening here. Let me have some time here. And I went, and I left my wallet with dollars inside. And my ATM or my ID card, I was tired. I slept off in the taxi. So when I got off the taxi, I realized that my wallet was no longer with me. And I was confused. Really, I didn't know what to do at that instant. Okay. Then I asked a couple they said, don't worry. I said, why will I not worry? My money is gone. I was a little bit tensed. They said I should just go to the police station. I got to my hotel. Now, to cut a long story short, the police used their surveillance camera to ask me what time. I was able to guess. They used it to track until they got me getting into the taxi, and they zoomed the taxi's number, and they gave me the taxi station. It took a couple of days. I got it back. What I'm trying to say is, if you go there and they'll tell you, don't worry about your books or your stuff, that this is China, no problem. What are we saying? That everybody is watched. So if I can watch, if there are people who are being watched, these are not rockets, it's not rocket science. It's not a heavy technology. It's just footage, camera you can install around. So we will know who is who. And if you need might, Roger Master said might is right. You have America there. You have all the big nations there. Why can't you align with them? And if you are really willing to solve the security so-called problem, if it's not a game, then you will install these footages and cameras, then you know who is who. We have had that helicopters bring stuff for the militants or those folks. Right. We've had so many things like that. So what I'm saying, why I will never believe, now during campaigns, you see them travel everywhere. The political actors, they go everywhere. They are not kidnapped. You've not heard that they are kidnapped.
Of course, they have their own security.
Oh, they have their own security.
Following them everywhere.
I disagree. Those guys are terrible. They could have stopped them, bumped into them, at least shoot at their vehicle. You don't hear things like that. What security are we talking about? No, nothing like that. I'm surprised that, and those guys, they are even saying that they have alliances. We had a lot of talk around the military circle that, look at you guys are wasting your lives here. Anyway, let me leave that. Right. The point I'm making here is this. If you are willing, if you are really willing, if the leadership, they are willing to curb and solve this problem, it can. I don't really feel scared that there is insecurity. No, I don't believe in it. I'm very, very sincere.
Okay, let's move over to another major part of the conversation. Now, when we look at the ADC coalition movement, we look at NNPP, Labour Party, Obedient Movement, and the PDP. What would you say are those things that actually distinguish ADC coalition party from other opposition parties in Nigeria?
The retired generals in the politics of Nigeria, they are in ADC. So if you look at it, all the big names you know, they are there.
But shouldn't that give them an edge to win the election because they've had prior information and prior, what's the word now, history about governance in Nigeria? That's
correct. But the man that is president is not a mean man. He's the proverbial cat with 9 lives. So Ahmed Tinubu is not a child in the game. So a man that have never lost elections before. You should understand he has several strategies. I call him the Nicolo of our contemporary time. That's how I would classify him. I have my love for him in some ways, and I also have my detest for him. So he doesn't have to be a whole all there is. I see Tinubu's, you see, Tinubu becoming president the second time. I know a lot of people will say, what are you saying? Things are so hard. The truth is not about what is hard or what is wrong. It's just the commoner on the street that is talking like that. These people don't know about what you are talking about. If you've been close to any of the political big, they don't really understand what you are saying. Because when you say Nigeria is poor, they wonder what you are saying because you seem not to be saying well. Now, Ahmed Tinubu, for instance, now, you don't know where he's going to. Have you heard him say anything now? You just heard that some people are pulling from their party, from coming to the APC and whatever, you know, and somehow issues are happening. He's going to come up with this big surprise. That's how it works. And then that you've been there several years. Oh, a man that left governance since 2007, he didn't contest any election. He sustained himself till the time he ran for presidency. You should understand such a person. I remember when I was a copper in Ekiti State, there was some issues. And the governor was having issue with the House of Assembly. He simply told the House of Assembly to ignore the governor, that he will single-handedly take care of them. Yes, it was the news around town then. And he did. And he bought them SUVs. I mean, from nowhere. What I'm trying to say is that he has been able to win the love of so many people. The so-called persons that are also with them in the so-called ADC now, they also have alliances with him. And that's what some of them that are there now may have been planted by him. So you know the strategy he's operating by. That's basically what's going to give him an edge over this article. No, look at the way he brought in Buhari and so many other persons that he have been able to put in position. So for me, I honestly believe Ahmed Tinubu in this will still win the elections. I believe so.
Okay, so interestingly, wouldn't it actually raise an eyebrow that while some are singing praises of our president and this administration, others, as you said, the common man on the street is feeling the pain and feeling the hint, and then you are saying that all of those political bigwigs, they have no clue. But is that not a clear case of losing touch of what is going on with Nigerian and average Nigerian? And don't you think that should be truly worrisome?
Do you think they care about? I don't. You know, we're media, and
so why are they in office? It's to serve the people.
No, that's not true. That's what they say. That's what is documented. That's not what is done. Nobody gets in there and starts serving the people. Who's serving the people? I just cited an instance. You could set up an NGO, and I will see you. At least my NGO fed about 1,000 persons a cup before I traveled. Just fed people to eat from nowhere. You could set up one tomorrow. And you'll be able to, you will mean well for the people. See, the moment you cross from that level to becoming an office holder, just assume I'm the governor of the state, for instance. What comes to me? You see people coming, the party stalwarts, they start coming, demanding for this and that and this and that. Then before you know it, they know everything you're going to receive. And they calculate it and give you a sharing formula. The moment you decline that sharing formula, they start fighting you. They start telling you didn't go to school. They start telling you didn't do this or you didn't do something right. The election that brought you in, you didn't win primaries. A lot of distractions. So when you see, instead of me to lose at both ends, okay, let's negotiate. So they are there. Any government in power, they call them AJIP, any government in power. They are there moving around. That's how they have made their money. That's how they live. So these characters and these shenanigans, they are the trouble that have actually taken over. Not the leader himself, like Governor Kwebolo now. From the way for instance, let's look at when he came on board. I could see the desire in him. Are you getting it now?
Right.
But look at what is going on in the state. Okay, just look at his hometown. Look at kidnapping. The man is overworked now. That's his politics for you. And there are some persons fanning this embassy into flame. And before you know it, you start hearing he didn't do anything. He get distracted. Leaders are the kind of leadership we have here is different from what you have elsewhere. We're in somewhere like in China, for instance. Now, we just quickly say this. Now, you see the leader, they are even begging him to remain. Just remain. Come, don't leave. We won't let you go. Just imagine, that's impact. And if it's in this country, they will bring him down. So it's not that it's better than us. It's that the system there is healthy.
Right.
Here, you have a very funny system. And that's the problem we have. I don't know. I just trust, I pray to God that God helps us. But
Okay.
again, men should be willing to take decisive action and do the needful for themselves.
Absolutely. Now, speaking about decisive action, over the course of the weekend, we saw a shocking news of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's his son defecting to the All Progressive Congress, APC, and a lot of questions online and also offline asked a lot of questions. If the former vice president's son do not believe in his father's ideology, why should Nigerians follow or believe his own ideology? Well, all of that and more we'll talk about after this break. I still have my guest in the studio, Dr. Patrick Awo-Osage Esquire. Please join us again. ADC coalition prospects and challenges as we get together towards the general election come 2027 has been our major focus this morning on ITV right here in our Benin Network studio. My guest, Dr. Patrick, moving back to you. So I did talk about the interesting movement. We saw the defection of the former vice president's son down to the APC. What do you make out of all of that?
Like I said, it was the former governor, Comrade Adams Aliyu Shomole, that said, you know, you could be in a particular political party in the morning and the evening you have moved to another. It's just the same thing. So I don't wonder why people feel the political parties are different. They're all one and same. So the moment you start understanding it like that, the better for all of us. You know, Winston Churchill said, politicians make statements that they don't take to account. They are wondering why you took it so seriously. That's what Winston Churchill said. As noble, as distinguished as Winston Churchill of our time. Now, you expect, it's just one of those things they do. The song will just play down there and they are together. Just the way some of the ADC folks are with, you know, with the APC. And some, just like, there's just a game. It's just a game. That's what it is. That's how I see it. He said, well, I should start analyzing that. Look at now, he's having some issue. The father is no, that's not true. I even believe that the father sent him there. That's how politics work. You need to have your eyes everywhere.
Do you have proof to that?
I'm a lawyer. I don't have proof. I said I believe.
You believe it.
I didn't say, oh, I have proof. I don't need to investigate that. There are things you don't even investigate, that you just know. By the operation of activities that have happened prior to that time, you know that this is what it is. It's just one of those games. They are not enemies, and don't get it wrong. You know, the problem with Nigerians is that they believe the political actors, they are enemies. Like Ahmed Tinubu is enemies with Atiku Abubakar. No, they are all friends. This is a game. This is just their craft. Just like lawyers arguing in court, you use some very, very funny language at yourselves. You are in court, you are arguing back and forth. So what do? And he said, look at, you even call the court's attention that look at the way he's addressing you. You know, at the end, they still sit down together in dinner and eat and drink together. So that's how politics is.
And I'm sure as we get to move forward, we would still see other shocking revelation towards the general election come 2027. We'll take another short break. Please join us again. Well, joining us right now in the studio is Barrister Matthew Idagese, a constitutional lawyer, to help us dissect the ADC coalition movement, prospects and challenges. Good morning, Barrister Matthew. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I would love to have your insight over all the you have observed over time with the ADC coalition movement, the prospects.
I think in Nigeria we use language without even appreciating the content or the meaning of the word. Coalition is not the right thing to call that arrangement. Coalition means different groups coming together and they retain their identity.
Right.
And they come together temporarily to achieve a purpose. That is why it is called coalition, coming together with different groups with different identity to converge and achieve a common purpose. That is not what happened under this arrangement. ADC is a party registered under the Nigerian law. It's on the INEC register as a political party. So individual coming to join a party cannot amount to being a coalition. It's not a coming together of different parties to now join, to now empty into the ADC. No. They are individual politicians coming into a party as members of that already existing party. They didn't come together to form that party. It's already in existence. So I think it should be called It's not coalition. It should be called
ADC movement?
huh?
Movement?
It's not a movement. It is just what it is. People
Right.
coming to register with
Oh,
with
the
a party.
ADC party would say.
Yes, it's a party like every other party.
Okay.
And it's like me and you coming to join ADC. We cannot call ourselves coalition. It doesn't make ADC it's a political party, just like every other party. If any of them had gone to join PDP, will you call it a coalition? Or if any movement from APC to PDP, is it a coalition? No. So this is the same situation. There is no coalition anywhere as far as ADC is concerned.
I think one of the major reasons why it is being tagged as a coalition is because we have individuals from the PDP, the APC, the NNPP, the Labour Party, everybody coming together to join the ADC.
Everybody you see today won't belong to another party. So anybody joining a party, except you are just attaining adulthood, you probably want to move from one party to another. Doesn't make you a coalition.
All right, now moving forward, what do you make out of the big wigs that we have in the ADC? And do you think that this is going to give them an added advantage to clinch the power of certain 2027 election?
What will give them advantage? I don't understand the question.
The fact that we have big wigs, we have the likes of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, we have the NNPP, Rabiu Kwankwaso, and a list of others, and also Peter Obi. Do you think it's going to give them an added advantage to win come 2027?
Like I said earlier on, none of them is coming to ADC with his own party. They are coming as an individual. If they have collapsed their party and moved all the members and even cancelled the registration of that party, to now empty into ADC, we call it coalition. It's just individual people moving into a party. The advantage that we have depends on how they are able to achieve proper organization and mobilization of the people who will cast the votes. Power belongs to the people. The electorate will determine who rules in 2027. It's by vote cast. It's not by movement of one. When you say big wig, every big wig has one vote. Unless you are able to mobilize big crowd, you're being a big wig with big Babariga doesn't make you have more than one vote. You can lose your own boots if you are not popular, even as a big wig. And being big in politics has to do with how much you are loved by the people in a democracy. It's not how much you have in your bank account. It's not the kind of limousine you ride. Because you can be reduced to a political nobody if the people decide to even vote against you in protest because they don't believe in what you represent. So if they are going to have any chance or stand any chance, the ADC now, they should put their hands on the plow and work seriously to get the people to believe in their arrangements in terms of what they are going to offer as an alternative to what is on ground. It's not a case just to take over power.
Right.
If the hunger for power is the drive, people will be scared because we are tired of power mongers in this country who come without vision and purpose for the people. Unless they're able to define and exhibit their vision, and it has to do with the welfare of the people and how we can lead the people from this present situation to a better standard of living, there will be no opportunity that they can tap on.
Right, thank you so much. Now, speaking about the people, as I move back to Dr. Patrick, what has been your observation so far? Do you think that that's the Nigerian people and the citizens have embraced the ADC? What do you think is going on right now?
I don't think they have embraced the ADC rather.
Why would you say that?
The truth is that the people don't even know what they want. You know, you must understand how they function. And why I would differ from what my very learned senior said, you know, is that these people, they are not the way we see them. They are led. Isn't it Professor Patrice Lumumba that said Africans are led by their stomach? It's what you have to offer. The mobilization he's talking about now, I know him very well, is looking at, they don't think the way you think. You are a very serious and sound lawyer. No, they don't think. The common man is just a loaf of bread. And they are able to come around and throw some money around. They have mobilized them. Not somebody like you. And people like you are not much in society. So that's the point we are making. So these guys, they come up there. And while you were calling it coalition, he's defining, I will come to that now. These guys, they are actually, by law, he's a very serious lawyer. By law, they are in a party. But by principle, they still retain who they are. So at the end of time, everybody is going back to where they are. They are not going to remain in ADC. It's just a vehicle taking them to where they are going to before the battle starts again. So it's been like that. Now, basically, if you look at this mobilization of people, it's about giving them money. And the money is there to throw around. But the challenge they will be having is that the man that is president too is also a master in all these games. So you have the gladiators coming to show themselves. Atiku has been a personal friend and ally with Alhaji Abubakar, Tinubu, and a whole lot of them. They have all worked together. They know themselves. Rabiu Kangwaso and all those men, they have been together. So it's, they are the ones fighting. It's that they all know. It's just like two professionals fighting. So everybody is watching them. That's exactly. But the challenge, like I have said before, they just like you have a Lionel Messi, Ronaldo in football, for those that love football.
Right.
Being together or fighting, you cannot actually predict. You will not be thinking, oh, no, Messi may perform, Ronaldo, that kind of feeling. It's what it is now. But the truth is this. From the antecedents of who Ahmed Tinubu is, having won several elections from the election winning angle, and having a larger control, and above all, his president, having led a team that removed the president. These are some of the things you look at. Now you are president. I told you about Julius Caesar and all those principles. They are working. They are real. And that's basically how I see it.
Okay, moving back to you, Barrister Matthew, do you agree in his line of thought that the people have no idea of what they want? And he also talks about the issue of stomach infrastructure, the weaponization of poverty. Do you think all of these are being done intentional to confuse the Nigerian citizen?
Sitting right here was a member of the National Campaign Council for Peter Obi presidential campaign. And I do know that the people of Nigeria know what they want. It was demonstrated in the 2023 election, where Tinubu himself lost Lagos. If it is about people not knowing what they want and throwing money around, who had more money than Tinubu in Lagos, where he has a sitting governor who was his own political son? There were more than money involved in that contest because people believe there was need for a change. So if Tinubu could lose his own Lagos, that has become his personal status at that time, even till now, you should know that when people have made up their mind and there's a resolve, you really cannot tell when you mount a jaded horse.
Right.
So I tell you, come 2027, people of Nigeria they will pursue what they want.
Okay.
Money may be a factor. It will not be a sole determinant.
All right, as we get to wrap up the conversation real quickly, I'd love to get both insights on it. There had been conversation over time as regards who is going to take what position in the ADC when we have the likes of Peter Obi, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and others. We even have Rotimi Amechi. Do you foresee another major challenge in the primaries of who would clinch the presidential post and also who would represent them for the VP?
Absolutely, it's going to be like that. There's going to be this, I want that. You see, back in time, I verily appreciate and understand what my late senior is saying. Back in time, if you look at the way politics have been played, the rigging system now has changed. They have changed curriculum in rigging. Now, when you create certain loopholes in areas, right? When you create it and it looked like, oh, you almost got there. If Ahmed Tinubu had wanted to win Lagos, he could have won it.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Absolutely. Let me move back to Barrister Matthew. What's your take on it? As regards to the challenges, do you think we're going to see another major drama in the ADC for who's going to represent them and the VP post and also the presidential ticket?
The flag bearer.
Right.
Absolutely. It's a game of interest. And those who are converging and parading themselves as big wigs, they are going there with the entitlement mentality. Each and everybody going there and pretending to be or calling himself a big wig means, thinks it should be me. Right. It must be me. So that it must be me is going to lead to serious implosion because it has to be me and me alone. So
Emi local will happen again.
So in the Emi local in reverse mode, it's going to happen there. Atiku will want to insist that he's a perpetual contestant and he will not lose. He want to lose his title. So he might get the tickets. And that is where the problem will start, because it is the popularity of the person who gets the ticket.
Absolutely.
That will make the opposition attractive.
Right, and let's not also forget we have Peter Obi and the obedience movement right there as well. A lot of things to unpack and a lot of things to look forward to see as we move over to the 2027 general election. I really must thank you so much, gentlemen. Dr. Patrick Abo Osage, Esquire, a lawyer and political analyst, and also Barrister Matthew Adegase, constitutional lawyer. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Alrighty, so that's how we get to leave the conversation here. Always an unending one, and a lot of Nigerians are looking forward to the drama that will unfold, especially with the ADC as we move towards the 2027 general election.